Hello and welcome back to another episode of the WhatEwen'sDoin football channel. Now, in today's video, it's a slightly different setup, as you can see, but we're going to be doing a slightly different topic. One, I feel as if it's kind of like a tiny bit out of my the comfort zone in terms of buying football strips online. Now, we're basically just going to be going through my sort of top 5 the bucket list, if you will, for this year of 2021. Now basically what this entails is that I'm going to give myself 5 strips that I want to have as part of my the collection by the time the end of the year comes. Now, just to put into context, most of the strips that I buy, you know, it's either that they mean something in the sense that the team itself, whatever the year from the strip that it's actually from, did something amazing that year, or the strip means something personally to me as such. But the strips that we've picked, they're all beautiful strips and they do mean something to me or the actual team itself, or maybe even a certain player as well. But all of these strips, they're all attainable quite easily, I would probably say, but to get them for a decent price, it's going to be really difficult, I would imagine. So a target that we've also set for ourselves as well when buying these strips, I'm going to set myself a budget of £100 for these 4 strips, and to stick within this budget. It might be a bit hard considering the strips that we're going to actually try and find throughout this year, but if we get it, I think it'll be quite an achievement for myself personally, and I think, you know, for the channel to actually grow as well, I've got to kind of take myself out of my the comfort zones, because, you know, everybody knows that what this channel is about is to stick to a certain the budget and ways and means to try and get really cheap shirts if it's got defects or etc. If it's something that you can fix at home, and it's to make life a bit the better for everyone if they can get the cheaper strips as well as part of their the collection. But I'm going to try and push myself a wee bit further out throughout this year, and obviously as well we'll be trying to get more strips as well throughout this year, not just these 4, but these are the 4 that I really, these are the 5 that I really want to actually try and get, and I'm going to take you through which ones I want to try and get from my collection. So yeah, let's get into this. So the first one that we want to try and get, luckily we've actually already got it, and it was actually kindly donated in the last video that we did for the second mystery box that was done from Alan, and it was this one here. It was the Chelsea home strip from 2011-2012. Now, so this strip is very iconic in the sense for most Chelsea fans that it was the strip that they wore during their Champions League final triumph against the Bayern Munich, and being the first London club to bring home the Champions League. And with me also being a Chelsea fan, it's a very iconic strip, and the reason that I wanted to get it was in whatever sort of sense, if it was the Champions League version or just the normal version, I wanted to get all the Champions League sort of the like, you know, name set and tags and the embroidery at the front as well. So yeah, I mean, it's a lovely strip as well, and I think the fact that we've already got one as part of this was it as part of our top 5. I mean I did come across the strip quite a few times, but at the same sense, like, you know, in terms of a budget and trying to stick to a budget, I would have probably had to overspend. But the fact that we've been given this for absolutely now, it's a great start to the list for this year. So once again, Alan, sir, thank you very much. So for the next one, I'm actually just going to look at it online, and I will show you on screen as well. But the first one here is the Heart strip from 2014-15 season. Now, in terms of the league campaign, we were actually again relegated to the Championship division, but Why the strip is so special is that this strip celebrates the 100th anniversary of McRae's battalion for Heart of Lobby. Now, just to put a bit of context on that, that was the year that most of the Heart squad back in 1914 volunteered themselves to go and fight in the First World War, and then by the time 2014 came around, Hearts celebrated this sort of the brave act from the people that did go into the war with this Centurion strip, and it's even got the old Hearts logo on it as well. And it's such a simple but a beautiful strip made by like Adidas as well. It's very reminiscent of the old Heart strip as well, with the white the collar and the just the basic maroon as well. And again, I've seen this one online quite a lot. One did slip through my hands from like £1 or something like that, which I was really angry about myself, but I know that these ones do pop up quite a bit, so it's just more of a case of just maybe trying to like add that extra few pound just to like sort of like achieve it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the easiest strips I think out of the other 4 to actually get. So yeah, we'll obviously keep you updated as we go along. But yeah, I genuinely think that this is going to be the easiest strip to achieve out of the 5. So next one. This one I'm kind of in two minds about in terms of whether or not it'll be easy to get, but in terms of what the strip represents, it's unbelievable. So this is the 2009 10 strip from Inter, and most of you might know that this is the strip that they achieved the treble in like, you know, in the sense that Inter won the league. They won the Italian the cup. I'm not actually too sure what the cup is called out there, and they also won the Champions League as well under Jose Mourinho. And you know, they did something that they've never done throughout their entire history, and for me personally, I think that was some achievement as well. And it showed at that point, I think that was the era that I think Jose was where he actually was at the peaked. And obviously I know that now these days, you know, Jose's not been the manager that he once was, but at the same time I feel as if this was probably his biggest achievement in my opinion. Yeah, granted, like, you know, winning the Champions League with Porto, the league with Chelsea back to back, but this, for a team that wasn't doing particularly well for quite a number of years, I think that will probably go down as Inter's biggest achievement in terms of their the club history. And I'm pretty sure that Jose might agree that that was probably his biggest achievement to win the treble as well. So I'm thinking in terms of a price range, it's obviously going to be hard. I can't really judge how much I can probably get this for on a cheaper, was it at the budget? I think it's just more to test the waters as well, to try and see if I can maybe get it for a cheaper price as well. And like, of course as well, we will try our tricks as well from all the AB sort of things we've learned as well. But yeah, to try and get this at a reasonable price, it's gonna be hard, and probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest. So yeah, that's going to be a tough. So the next one as well, this is going to be again easier, but maybe quite hard to try and find. So this one is the Forest Green home strip from 2019-20 season. Now, I know nothing about the Forest Green. The most I know is that I think they play in either League 1 or League 2 down in England, but the first time I saw the strip, I thought, that is out there. I've never seen a strip as sort of out there as such in terms of its design, especially from the UK as well. But I strangely like it. It's a strip that I shouldn't really like. I know I do tend to quite like very sort of out there and very sort of daring the creations as well, but it's a strip that it's very unusual, but I kind of want a collection as well. So for this one, again, I've seen it floating around. I can't imagine I would pay too much for it. I'd say maybe about the £20-25 mark, maybe even cheaper than that. But yeah, there's not much to it. I just want it. Like, you know what I mean? You know, again, it's a very unusual home strip as well, but I think it's not going to be entirely sort of popular as such. I think more people would be inclined more to not buy it than do. But yeah, it's just something that I want to have part of my the collection, and I think it's something that, like, again, would be very questionable, but you know, we're no stranger to buying questionable items. But yeah, I think this would be slightly easier to obtain at a reasonable price as well. So that's probably the most questionable strip of the top 5. So the last one we've got arguably might be the hardest strip to find, and possibly the most expensive that we'll spend, but I'll show you here. So it is the PSG home strip from 2013. Now, there's only really one reason why I want this strip, and to be fair, it's not even the nicest that the PSG have had, in my own personal opinion, but the only reason that I want it is this was the strip that David Beckham wore in his last ever professional football game. Now, like him or not, he was one of the most influential players the game has ever seen, and one of the most technically gifted players that played for the game as well. And I respect him 100%. I think what he's done for football and what he's done for football now, especially for the American game as well, like, you know, he's trying to make that a bit more, you know, accessible to fans all around the world as well. And I watched the game when he played his last, and like, you know, for any player, like, you know, playing your last game, obviously it's going to be a very, like, you know, an emotional day, but for him, like, you know, he just looks so overwhelmed, thinking this is it, this is my last game of professional football. And it was a very sad moment as well, but at the same time, this strip I want to get my hands on, and I think it's very iconic in the sense that this was the last game and the last shirt that David Beckham wore, and I would of course want to try and get the name set for it as well, which in turn might be the most expensive purchase out of them all. So I mean, to get this, and if it has the name set, fantastic, but if it doesn't, I'm going to probably expect to spend about maybe £50 on this one. Now, don't get me wrong, £50 plus a name set for a very iconic shirt to most, like, you know, football, was it a shirt like sort of the collectors, isn't a lot. But obviously, just to sort of reiterate, like, you know, what this channel is and what it stands for is that it's meant to get cheaper bargains for, like, you know, for the people much like myself, which doesn't overly have a huge sort of the budget to spend. But this one is probably going to be the hardest out of the lot. It is a really nice strip, but the only ones I've seen online recently were, like, you know, like, there was only like maybe 2 based in the UK, and then the other ones were scattered all around Europe. But yeah, out of all of them, this is probably going to be the hardest strip to actually obtain. But again, when there is a will, there will be a way. So yeah, I think it's going to be a really hard ask to try and get these 4 strips, because we've obviously already got the Chelsea one, but to get these 4 strips under £100 with what I want as well, it's going to be a big ask, but I think we can do it. I don't, like, you know, for me personally, I always tend to see the glass is half full, not half empty, and I think with how we work and with how we operate as well, in terms of trying to stick to a budget and the way that we try and buy shirts as well, I think it's achievable. It'll be difficult, but it will be achievable. So yeah, so that is our top 5 football shirt the bucket list for the year, and obviously for the next sort of 6 or 7 months I will keep you updated in videos as well, just to see how we are and if we do obtain any of these strips in the future. So yeah, hard task ahead, but we're gonna do it. So once again guys, thank you very much for watching this slightly different video, but nonetheless I do really appreciate it always. If you guys did enjoy this video, please smash that like button, and please think about subscribing as well for more future football content, and it means the world as well. We just think a few days ago we just hit 60 subscribers as well, so again, thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. Honestly, it means so much to me. Again, for another the milestone this year, we want to get to 100 subscribers before the year is out, which is incredibly doable. So if we get there, again, it'll be absolutely massive for me, so please keep those subscriptions up. But again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, bye for now.